Welcome to the PCFL Show. This week we've got highlights of Week 5, previews of Week 6, and 3 quick questions with 2 of the Southbay Stallions. The PCFL Show is brought to you in part by 916 Design Studio. For all your design needs, call 916-747-9255. Also by La Cabana Restaurant in Suisun, the best in home-style Mexican cooking. Call 707-429-5871. On this week's edition of 3 Quick Questions, we've got 2 of the Southbay Stallions. Let's let our guests introduce themselves.
Obie, Momeni, D-line.
David Semedo, offensive guard for the Southbay Stallions.
Welcome to the show, guys. Okay, first question. When did you guys start playing football?
I actually started late. When I first started playing, I was 25. Well, I've always been a fan of football. I knew I could play. And in high school, I moved around a lot, so I couldn't stick with the team.
My freshman year of high school, I played 4 years of high school and just decided to play semi-pro starting last season. So this is only my 6th year playing.
Okay, question 2 for Obie. So since you started late, is there anything you really learned or picked up as an adult?
Yeah, everything. I had to learn everything. It's a completely different game from watching to playing. And even 4 years into it, I'm still learning as if I'm 17.
And question 2 for David. What have you enjoyed so far or looking forward to the rest of the season?
Just a great season playing together as one team, one family. Just that brotherhood of coming together for a goal of a championship and just competing and having fun out there.
All right, and question 3 for both of you. What was your favorite NFL team?
The Raiders.
The Oakland Raiders. I didn't grow up watching football because my parents were from here, so they wouldn't allow me to watch American sports. But starting about 8th grade, I started watching a little bit, and when I was younger, my godfather was a Raider fan, so I always proclaimed myself as a Raider fan. And when I started watching, I became a fan.
Thanks, guys, and good luck to both of you and the Southbay Stallions on the rest of your season. Now let's get to the highlights. A good run by Dante Mills early puts the Barnstormers in the red zone. And a few plays later, Jamie Jensen hits Will Lawrence for the touchdown. After exchanging punts and fumbles, the Barnstormers put a field goal through. The Barnstormers stop the Giants on 4th down as Ben Murdoch gets in quickly with the sack. And a few plays later, Jamie Jensen tosses his 2nd touchdown to Randy Lambert. With less than a minute left in the half, Marquez Shaw's pass is picked off by Roy Edwards. And the Barnstormers take the field with some urgency as Jamie Jensen hits Nick Breland. And that leads to Dante Mills finishing off the drive with a 10-yard touchdown run. In the 3rd quarter, the Giants try and get something going with a halfback toss from Terrence Gentry, and he hits Deshaun Hosey Jr. for 43 yards. But the Barnstormer defense holds on 4th down as Ben Murdoch gets his 2nd sack of the day. And 3 plays later, number 3 throws his 3rd touchdown, this time from 53 yards out as Nick Breland flips his way into the end zone. And on their next possession, Jamie Jensen hits Michael Haberman over the middle, who takes it 56 yards. That sets up a field goal from Alex Vaca. And in the 4th quarter, the Giants attempt to punt, but the punter can't get the ball off. And that leads to Jamie Jensen's 4th touchdown pass of the day, this one to Nick Breland. Later on in the 4th, Jamie Jensen keeps this one himself and takes it in for the touchdown. Alex Vaca puts his 5th point after through. And as time was running out, the Giants started driving, but the pass was picked off by Brandon Lattimore to seal the win. And your final score, Central Coast Barnstormers 48, Golden State Giants nothing. The Outlaws get into scoring position first as Thaddeus Vincent takes the punt return and takes it all the way into the red zone. A few plays later, Tim Thomas puts it into the end zone. Troy Mabon puts the point after through. In the second quarter, the Rhinos start putting a drive together, but the ball comes loose, and Thaddeus Vincent scoops it up and takes it the distance. But any momentum that the Outlaws had in the first half started slipping away in the second with some miscues. Here, Chris Little gets the tackle in the backfield for the Rhinos, and John Fernandez gets in for the sack. And on the next play, another miscue, the ball's loose, and John Fernandez scoops it up and takes it in for the touchdown. And on the point after, the snap is bobbled, but kicker Anthony Gagliano rolls out and throws it in for 2. And later on in the fourth quarter, Chris Little takes the Outlaws punt and takes it all the way for a touchdown. And Anthony Gagliano's point after is good. With time running out in the game, the Rhinos punt to the Outlaws, and Thaddeus Vincent gets the ball and takes it upfield. A block in the back brings it back, though. The Outlaws manage to get into scoring position, but the Rhinos' defense holds. And under pressure, quarterback Scotty Cordiar is able to evade the sack, but he's unable to get into the end zone. And your final score, California Rhinos 15, East Bay Outlaws 13. The Assassins get on the board first as Ray Pinkston hits Deontay Allen for the touchdown. The point after is good, and the Assassins are up by 7. The Chiefs start driving as Alton Seymour hits Tony Quentin, but a flag brings this one back. They still manage to pick up the first down as Seymour hits Quentin again on this throw, but the drive stalls. Later on in the second quarter, Curtis Berry takes the toss and tosses it to Earl Williams for a big gain. And on the next play, Curtis Berry takes it in himself for 6. Later on in the quarter, another Curtis Berry run puts the Assassins right on the goal line. And this time Ray Pinkston hits Earl Williams for the touchdown. Curtis Berry puts in the 2-point conversion. And later on in the third quarter, this screen pass to Curtis Berry sets up another score. And Ray Pinkston caps it off with his second connection with Deontay Allen. And your final score, Bay Area Assassins 27, Solano Chiefs nothing. The PCFL Show is brought to you in part by Graves Video Production. Capture life's great moments. Go to gravesvideo.net. Also by HostedSports.com, the only one-stop place for all sports on the web.
You are watching the PCFL Show with your host, Angry Mike.
Early in the second quarter, Mike Laurie takes it in for the Stallions for the touchdown. And on the Stallions' next series, so does Allen Webster. The Heat then start to put a drive together with this pass from Scotty Armstead to Anthony Ragone. But on the next play, Armstead is picked off by Deshaun McGregor. Both teams exchange possessions. The Heat go to punt, and Anthony Royal takes it all the way to the Heat's 20-yard line. The Heat defense comes up big with a sack of Jeffrey Williams. But a few plays later, Williams hits A.J. Hanley for 6. Third quarter, after a long return, Matt Barquera takes it in on a nice run, and Betancourt's kick is good. The Stallions move down the field with a nice pass from Jeffrey Williams to Ronald Moore, but the drive stalls, and Danny Betancourt kicks a 45-yard field goal. And after a fumble recovery, Betancourt kicks another field goal, this one from 35. But the Heat come firing back, and Anthony Ragone breaks off a 30-plus yard run to end the third quarter. plays later, quarterback Scotty Armstead runs it in for the score. And for the conversion, Armstead hits Pat Hall in the back of the end zone for 2. After a Stallions fumble, Scotty Armstead hits Pat Hall for this touchdown. The Heat get the ball back and are going for it on 4th down, but Matai Wooden and Delos Whaley combine for the sack. And your final score is Southbay Stallions 33, Reading Heat 14. After an exchange of possessions midway through the first, the Fury punt the ball and Keyjon Murphy takes it and takes it to the house. The Fury start driving the ball at the end of the quarter, but this defensive stop by the Ducks D results in a field goal at the beginning of the second quarter by Nick Whitaker. And after the field goal, the Fury kick off, and the Ducks special teams show why they're special. Michael Conway takes it up the middle, and takes it the distance for the touchdown. The Fury then start driving the ball in this hard-hitting matchup as shown with this pass to Terrence McGee. And a few plays later, Kimby Drayton takes it in for the touchdown. Midway through the second, Cody Allen hits Devin Jones for a touchdown to extend the Ducks' lead, and here Kimby Drayton gets his second score. With time running out in the half, the Ducks move the ball down the field and into field goal position. But the kick is blocked. And Ron O'Neal comes down with the ball and takes it for the touchdown. The Fury take their opening drive of the third quarter and put it in with this Derek Morrison touchdown. The Fury go to extend their lead with a field goal, but the Ducks return the block favor and take one back themselves as Rodney Ernest scoops and scores. In the fourth quarter, the Ducks score on a Tim Lang touchdown run that we don't have for some reason, but here's the point after by Mort Guyvet, and the Ducks take the lead. Down by 4, and with less than 2 minutes left in the game, the Fury are trying to push the ball downfield. But the ball's picked off by Sid Thompson, who takes it back for the touchdown. Mort Guyvet puts the point after through. And your final score, Delta Ducks 42, Capital City Fury 31. Let's take a look at the top performers of the week.
You're watching the PCFL Show.
And now the Week 6 previews. The Reading Heat have a bye, so we'll hear more from them next week. We're also going to do something a little different this week. This week is more of a player's preview, as provided by Brandon Lattimore of the Central Coast Barnstormers. If you're interested in contributing for a player preview segment, please email pcflmedia@gmail.com. Rhinos defense keeps them in games by forcing turnovers, swarming to the ball, scoring points, and making points hard to come by for their opponents. The Chiefs have had some growing pains this season. They're led by quarterback Alton Seymour, who leads the team in both rushing and passing. Can the Chiefs use their youth to their advantage? The Rhinos take on the Chiefs this Saturday at Vaca Christian High School. Kickoffs at 1 o'clock. Sponsored by La Cabana Restaurants, the best in home-style Mexican cooking. East Bay Outlaws need this win, and they are much better than their record shows. The Assassins got their first win last week. If they can knock off the Outlaws, people may take notice. Both teams need this victory if they plan on partaking in the playoffs. The team that capitalizes on the other's mistakes and plays a full 4 quarters should come out on top. The East Bay Outlaws take on the Bay Area Assassins this Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff at Duker Stadium, Pinole Valley High School. The Jags offense has been in a slump for 2 weeks, scoring just 20 points. Their D, on the other hand, has flown under the radar, giving up the fewest points in the league so far. The The Stallions play solid D led by Ron Birdsall and have a balanced O led by first-year quarterback Kevin Vi. The winner of this game will be sitting at 4-1. The Central Valley Jaguars take on the Southbay Stallions this Saturday, 1:30 kickoff at Overfelt High School in San Jose. The Furies D brings the heat. They are a physical team and will let you know about it. Anthony Edwards leads the league in sacks and will cause havoc if he's not accounted for. The Barnstormers have rebounded nicely after a poor 0-2 start. The offense has weapons all over and they've got big playmakers. It should be a tough battle as both teams feel they match up well. The team with the fewest mistakes wins and special teams will play a role. The Capital City Fury take on the Central Coast Barnstormers this Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff at Gilroy High School. Sponsored by Air Filter Control. When clean air matters, call 408-433-0600. The Giants showed early they have what it takes to win, using a mix of athleticism and speed. Can they regroup from their loss last week and get back on track? The Ducks have seemed unflappable all season, solid in all three phases of the game, allowing them to stand as the lone undefeated team in the PCFL. Can they keep momentum going and avoid the classic trap game? The Golden State Giants take on the Delta Ducks this Saturday, 7 o'clock kickoff at Del Oro High School, sponsored by Fast Freddy's Pizza of Roseville. Well, that's it for another episode of the PCFL Show. Thanks for watching, and be sure to share the show links on Facebook. The more people that we can reach in our community, the more people we can get coming to our games. Also, check out thepcfl.com for the latest scores and information. I'm your host, Angry Mike, and think before you click send.